reasonable with you.
You're not being reasonable. We're having a conversation. You're telling me to leave.
Right? You are a threat to the security of this building.
And how do you work that out,
recording
Inspector?
drone footage. So I'm telling you not to do it.
Inspector, listen.
I'm explaining the legislation that prevents you from doing it.
There is no legislation that tells me that I cannot fly over here. The only way I couldn't fly over here, right, is if it was an FTR, right? I couldn't then. If there was a CTR, I still could,
Darren,
because of the class of drone that I've got.
Will you give me your full details, please?
Why? Tell me why, and I'll think about it.
Because I want to know who's on these premises, because I'm concerned that somebody turns up with, a face covering like you. Like, why are you covering your face?
Do you know, I'll tell you now. Yes, I'll tell you why you covered my face, Inspector. Because I was looking in the window, right? Yeah. And when you come out, you came right into my space.
Yes, I
did. I don't know if you read anything
because I don't like people looking at police stations who shouldn't be looking inside police stations.
Welcome back to the channel, where reality in the courtroom, and in this case, the streets, gets put under the microscope. Today's episode isn't just about a drone. It's about a clash between perceived authority and actual law. We've got Darren, a citizen journalist who knows his rights, standing toe-to-toe with an inspector determined to flex legal muscle. The stakes, not just whether a drone flies, but whether subjective fear can trump objective legislation. There's tension, legal jargon flying back and forth, and even a police helicopter making a cameo. But before you pick a side, stick with me, because the deeper we dig, the more this turns into a textbook case of
it's all countryside, and so I'm going to fly my drone.
Okay.
That's okay. I'm allowed to, I think.
Well, you fly drones, obviously not too low.
Oh, right. I'm allowed to fly it though, yeah?
I'll double check on that. I don't know what the legal procedure is, but I can certainly go and ask for you.
Alright.
What's your name, please?
Darren.
Darren?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to leave me any other details, Darren?
Do I need to?
No, you don't have to. Okay, I'll find out for you.
Thank you.
The situation begins with the citizen, who we'll call Darren as he gives his first name, arriving at a police station. The doors are open and he has a brief, polite exchange with a civilian staff member. He openly states his plan to fly his drone to capture footage of the building and the scenic countryside around it. The staff member is unsure about the legality of this and says she will ask an officer. This is a reasonable first step. Darren then waits, and this is where the main interaction with the police begins. An inspector and two constables come out to speak with him.
Inspector.
Can you just go around the front of the building now and speak to you?
Please, I'll engage with you, but don't be aggressive like that.
Okay, well don't, you must not look in the police station, the video inside the police station.
I wasn't videoing, but I was looking.
Is this on, is it?
Well, I wasn't videoing.
Right. You do not film inside police stations,
please
right?
Don't speak to me like that. I'm not speaking to you like that.
Under legislation, okay?
An offence under legislation?
Yes, it is.
What legislation would that be?
It's a security offence, okay?
A security offence.
Right, just make sure.
You're being a bit fake there, Inspector.
Are you the gentleman who came earlier and asked to fly a drone over the police station?
I didn't ask. I said I'm going to when I am going to.
Right, okay. So I need to point out it's actually an offence under current legislation.
And what legislation would that be?
Right, okay. So it's an offence under the Air Traffic Management and Unmanned Aircraft Act of 2021.
No, it's not.
It is, okay.
No, it's not. Can you show me?
We've taken some legal guidance.
Can you show me?
I'm just going to tell you, okay?
Can you show me that legislation?
If you do that,
I am doing that.
I consider that a risk to police station security.
I'm doing that.
If you continue to do that, I'll ask you to stop doing it, and if you don't do it, we'll seize your drone. You will commit an offence.
If you show me, I'll tell you what, Inspector.
Under that legislation. I'm just explaining what the legislation is.
Listen.
Okay.
If you can show me that legislation, then obviously I won't do it.
I've just explained to you what it is.
No, show me.
We've taken some guidance from our legal department.
Yeah.
I've just explained to you.
Well, you better take some more. You better take some more then.
So
you can't show me that legislation. I will do that.
I'm telling you. Right?
I am doing that.
You'll be asked to stop doing it. If you don't do it, we will seize it under Section 19 of the legislation.
No,
you will commit offences.
No, you won't. If you do anything that's unlawful, right, I will.
Well, yeah, I would expect that you would.
I would, but I don't want to do that, Inspector.
But
all I want to do.
not film inside police stations.
I wasn't.
Because it's well, that looks like it's on, and you.
Well, how does that look like it's on? Is the screen on?
The inspector immediately takes a firm stance. He tells Darren that he will be asked to stop flying the drone, and if he refuses, the police will seize it under Section 19 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, also known as PACE. So, what is Section 19 of PACE? This law gives police the power to seize property if they are lawfully on a premises and have reasonable grounds to believe that the property is evidence related to an offence and that seizing it is necessary to prevent it from being concealed, lost or destroyed. The key phrase here is reasonable grounds to believe an offence is being committed. Without that, the seizure could be unlawful. The inspector's entire argument hinges on the idea that flying the drone would be offence. He claims it's a threat to the station's security. It's important to note that generally, members of the public and the media do not need a permit to film or photograph in public places, and this includes filming police personnel and buildings. Police can only stop you if your behaviour is suspected of being related to terrorism or if it constitutes harassment.
There's a screen on, Inspector.
Just see a red light.
A red light. You can't see no red light because it's not on.
Well, you mustn't do that because it's a threat to our security in the police premises.
Okay, listen.
It's an official government building, you know that.
Listen, it's a public building.
Do you mind if I take you on in, please?
Yeah.
We see how things start calmly enough. Darren is upfront about his intentions, no sneaky behavior, no hidden camera, and the staff member even treats it as a reasonable question. This is an important detail because it sets the tone. Darren isn't lurking in the shadows. He's openly stating his purpose. In law, transparency can be your best friend when you're later accused of suspicious behavior. But the second you swap a friendly conversation for a uniformed officer with an agenda, the whole atmosphere changes. And as we'll see, that change happens very...
If you are found to be committing any offences, we'll need full details. Otherwise, we couldn't deal with it by way of summons. You would have to be arrested.
I'd expect that.
Darren, are you going to give me a full name?
At the end of the day.
Darren, will you give me your full details?
Will you give me your full details?
Yes, I will. I'm Inspector Garney from Northumbria Police, Hexham Police Station.
Okay.
7781's my first number.
Okay.
Right?
What's your date of birth?
No, you don't
What's
be silly.
Your address?
Don't be silly.
Well, what do you want mine for?
I'm explaining to you, right? You will breach current legislation.
I will not.
Which we've taken
I know
legal
the legislation inside out.
Please don't do it.
I'm doing it.
If you do it,
I will do it.
We'll ask you to stop.
I'm definitely doing it. You told me that because I know you're lying. I know you're lying.
And if you don't allow us to seize it, you will be arrested because we won't be able to deal with it by way of summons.
Right.
Okay?
Listen, you seize it.
Please leave the building. Okay. Please leave.
I'm not in the building.
Just leave the area.
What?
Okay.
What? I thought me and you were having a pleasant conversation, weren't we?
With you.
Like, you're not being reasonable. We're having a conversation. You're telling me to leave.
Right? You are a threat to the security of this building.
And how do you work that out,
recording
Inspector?
Drone footage. So I'm telling you not to do it.
Inspector, listen.
I'm explaining the legislation that prevents you from doing it.
There is no legislation that tells me that I cannot fly over here. The only way I couldn't fly over here, right, is if it was an FTR, right? I couldn't then. If there was a CTR,
The inspector then brings up a specific piece of legislation, the Air Traffic Management and Unmanned Aircraft Act 2021. He makes a very strong claim, stating that this act makes it an offence to fly a drone over a police station if there is a perceived threat to security. And as the duty inspector, he perceives a threat. This is the most contentious point of the whole encounter. Let's break down the drone laws. In the UK, the Civil Aviation Authority, or CAA, sets the rules. A crucial distinction is the weight of the drone. Drones under 250 grams have fewer restrictions and can typically be flown over buildings like police stations, as long as you're not flying over crowds. For drones weighing 250 grams or more, regulations require the pilot to maintain a 50-meter horizontal distance from buildings not under their control. Whether Darren's intended flight was lawful could depend on the weight of his drone. However, the inspector doesn't ask about the drone's weight. Instead, he relies on his perceived threat. The 2021 Act does give police new powers, such as ordering a drone to be grounded and issuing fines for offences, but it does not give an officer the power to invent a crime based on a subjective feeling of being threatened. The Act was designed to tackle illegal drone use, like flying near airports or in restricted zones, not to provide a blanket ban over police stations based on an officer's perception. Police stations are not automatically designated restricted airspace. Darren, the citizen journalist, stands his ground. He correctly points out that if he were a genuine threat, he could fly the drone from miles away without the police even knowing he was there. He argues that he is acting lawfully and that the inspector is misinterpreting the legislation.
You just saying rude, man.
If you'd like to go, we've all got jobs to do.
The legislation, like you're saying there, about Section 19, like, you're wrong, mate.
Okay.
You're totally wrong,
then you
bro.
can challenge Northumbria Police Legal Department.
But I don't want to do that.
Because that's
I don't want to have to do that, though.
Well, that's up to you. That's your prerogative.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I've told you,
I'm not here
you
to
will
start
not
making
be permitted to fly the drone over
You've
this
got no
police
choice.
station
You've got no
based
choice.
on police station
I
security.
can fly it. Oh, I can fly it
Right?
anywhere and look in, mate. Don't
Well,
have to fly over.
I've just asked you not to do it.
Well,
I've
I'm
explained
gonna.
the legislation for you not to do it.
Right, explain
and
the
I've explained
legislation
the
again.
consequences.
Legislation again.
Right, because it's a threat to the station security for you to fly the drone and record that drone.
And that tells me that in section 19, does it?
No, that
No, it
section
doesn't, I
19
know.
is the offence. It gives us the power to seize the drone if you don't.
Right, so
Land
go on
it
then,
on
carry on
behalf
then.
of
Sorry for interjecting. I interjected right in important bit what you're trying to say. So because of the security, yeah?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I've told you the legislation, haven't I?
No,
I've told you what
I
it is.
interjected.
Listen,
Tell me
we're
again,
going
just
round
so,
in
just
circles.
so we're on the
I
same
think I've
page.
done it. I'm recording myself doing
Right,
it.
tell me
Okay?
again the legislation that stops me from flying over
I
the
don't
police
need to tell you
station.
again. I've already told you. And
You haven't, man, Inspector.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I won't
So I'm
interject.
going to put these.
The inspector immediately frames Darren's actions as a security threat, which is a powerful phrase in law enforcement because it justifies rapid action. But here's the twist: security threat is not in itself a crime. For it to stick legally, there has to be a clear, defined offense under statute. The inspector's approach here is less about citing exact legislation and more about using a broad, emotionally charged term to assert control that might work in a high-stakes emergency. But in a measured encounter like this, it risks coming across as
Things back in the station.
I won't
now,
interject.
okay? And then,
I won't interject. Just
and
tell me.
that's the
If
end of
you
my
can tell me,
conversation
I
with
won't
you.
do it. If you tell
There's
me.
no point in us arguing about this.
No, there's no argument.
I've been
I'm saying,
reasonable.
yeah, if you can tell me that
I'm
legislation,
responsible for
I will
police
not do
station
that.
security. Okay, I'm going to
I
pop
won't
these
do
things
it.
in
If
here
you can
now.
explain that legislation, Inspector, I won't do it. If you can't, then I'll...
Already has done.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
No, he hasn't.
He has.
What's your number?
2203.
When did you leave school?
Are you trying to be funny?
I'm just asking a question. When did you leave school?
Nothing to do with you.
Okay, that's not funny. I don't think that's funny anyway.
Right. So he's explained everything to you now.
He never. If he explains to me,
Yeah.
Inspector, I will think with you know. I won't do it if you do. And that's me being reasonable, mate. I can't be any more reasonable than that. If you explain that legislation to me now,
told
right,
you
I
what
won't
it
do
is.
it. Right, go on then, I'm listening. I must have misheard you. Go on then, I'm listening. I'm all ears. If you can explain that legislation to
The
me.
Air Traffic Management and Unmanned Aircraft Act 2021,
yeah,
right?
Right,
So, part of that legislation
right.
makes it an offence for an individual to fly a drone over a police station if there is a perceived threat to the security of that station. I am the duty inspector. I perceive that to be a threat to the security of this police
Okay.
station. Therefore, if you could do it,
Yeah.
you'll be asked not to do it under that legislation.
Okay.
If you don't stop doing it, we will
Okay.
seize that drone
Look at it.
under section 19 of the legislation.
What
and if you
legislation?
don't allow of what I've just explained to
What,
you,
the unmanned aircraft?
yes,
Okay.
right, and if you don't allow us to do
You're
it,
wrong, you know.
you'll be arrested.
You're wrong, you know.
Right, and if you don't give your details so that you can be summoned, you'll also be arrested because we can't do the
Well, I'll
boundaries.
already be arrested, won't I?
All right, so I'm just explaining now. I don't know how much more I can say.
Okay, what's your Inspector what? Sorry.
I've
Just for the
already told you
record.
my name.
Inspector
I've already
Tyrant
told.
features that.
The conversation also touches on other aspects of public rights. The inspector takes issue with Darren wearing a face covering, suggesting it's not what normal people do. However, wearing a face covering in public is not illegal in the UK. While some laws can require removal under specific circumstances, such as at a designated protest, simply wearing one is not an offence. The inspector warns Darren that if he flies the drone, he will be arrested. Darren challenges this, asking repeatedly under what law he would be arrested. The inspector's response remains focused on his perceived threat and the 2021 Act. The situation escalates with the police helicopter even appearing overhead later in the video, a significant use of resources for this situation. So, what are the key takeaways from this encounter for educational purposes? First, know your rights regarding filming in public. Generally, you are free to film police officers and police stations from
18 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act. This section does allow police to seize property, but only under specific conditions. Namely, they must be lawfully present and have reasonable grounds to believe the item is evidence of an offense. The key word here is reasonable, without a clear offense. Seizing the drone could be seen as an overreach. This is where Darren's persistence pays off. By calmly asking for the exact legislation, he's forcing the conversation into specifics, something officers relying on vague authority often avoid.
public land. Second, understand the basics of drone law. The rules can be complex and often depend on the weight of your drone and your location. A police station is not automatically a no-fly zone, but restrictions on heavier drones and flying people apply. Third, police powers, like the power of seizure under Section 19 of PACE, are not unlimited. They must be based on a reasonable suspicion that a specific offence has been committed. An officer's personal perception of a threat is not, by itself, an offence. Counter highlights a common tension between the public's right to document and the police's concerns about security. While the inspector may have genuinely felt there was a risk, his interpretation and application of the law, particularly the Air Traffic Management and Unmanned Aircraft Act 2021, appeared to be an overreach of his authority based on the information presented. It serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of being informed, staying calm, and clearly but politely assert your rights when you believe you are acting within the law. We hope this breakdown has been informative. If you found this video educational, please give it a like, subscribe for more content, and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay safe and stay informed.